Welcome in Tuesday edition Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio here with you today. Ole Miss and Troy tonight, 6 o'clock from the Pavilion. A full breakdown of the Trojans here for more than half the show today. It is basketball season, ready to go. Troy and the Rebels tonight from the Pavilion. Non-conference action. It is Christmas vacation night at the Pavilion tonight. I saw they're giving away some ornaments to the first 500 fans. I guess a free ad there. I just happened to see that. Let you know if you want to get to the Pavilion tonight, you can grab that Christmas ornament. It looks like the station wagon with the tree on it, I believe, is what they went with for the evening.
Oh, I like that.
Like that?
Oh, yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I think that's what they did. I saw one of my favorite podcasts, speaking of free stuff, the Rewatchables with Bill Simmons. They did Christmas Vacation this morning, so I'll have to add that to my list. They'll break it down for an hour and a half, so I'm in on that at some point here this week.
I'll probably listen to that one too.
for that podcast. So that more coming up. No, seriously, Walter Nolen. Hey, we're getting some old school recruiting vibes with this one. We'll go into that a little bit.
It's like new school meets old school.
It is. It's. I'll be honest. I kind of felt comfortable. It was like a warm blanket yesterday. Going, no, this I understand. I'm used to this. This kind of stuff is. And hey, the day before signing day, like it fits all the way around. We got some. I know he didn't have to sign, but either way, whatever.
I was gonna say
it is completely irrelevant. Yeah, because I had somebody last night who's very in tune with recruiting. They go, yeah, he's going to do this and get in the portal and then sign. I went, well, he ain't signing. He's just going to show up in class. There is no sign for the portal guy.
I mean, I guess you sign with the collective, but it's not really binding to anything except the collective.
It's binding to get your money should you follow through with your side of the equation.
Right.
Anyway, all that, more, talk some Florida, talk some Lane Kiffin here on this morning's podcast, brought to you every day by the Oxford Exxon Highway 6 West in Oxford. Lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink. Remember, it's not just in Oxford. Blue Sky locations up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. So help us out. Stop in. A lot of holiday travel, so let them take care of you with your fuel, your convenience store needs, and much more. All podcasts on MPW Digital presented by Twisted Tea. Again, we're in the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. I'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. That's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. The Campbell Clinic's in Oxford now, 2608 South Lamar Boulevard, Suite 102, just across the street from the cottages at Hooper Hollow. The Campbell Clinic provides full-service orthopedic care, everything from sports medicine to foot and ankle surgery to spine and total joint care to pediatric orthopedics, physical therapy, and more. To book an appointment, go to campbellclinicoxford.com or call 901-759-3111. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Campbell Clinic, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
I don't think we'll get to it on today's show, but it shows you we're definitely in December, and college football writers don't always have everything to talk about. Blake Toppmeyer today posting his rankings of the press box meals he had this season and all of his travels every single week. That was his column today, was press box meals.
Yep.
Ole Miss comes in at 10th on his list of 15 games. Yeah, 15 games. Ole Miss comes in at 10th.
Okay.
He was in town for the LSU game. It was chicken tenders, jambalaya, salad, and a cookie. I kind of remember that. Said chicken tenders are Ole Miss's game day staple. Nothing fancy, but they hit the spot. Jambalaya left something to be desired. It does there, Blake, and it tasted bland, he said. So,
okay. I mean, he's having fun here. So
yeah.
I'm not.
This is not a serious.
I'm not going
thing.
to.
And we are the two least people getting upset by a press box meal. Okay, like Aaron Mark or whoever at Ole Miss, we're cool. No problems.
I'm good with you.
Yeah, no issues.
I mean, I often bring my own press
box.
My
one
meal.
recommendation, and it is a small one, and maybe it's there and I don't even notice it, is just put a bottle of hot sauce out.
Yes, put some hot sauce out.
We'll dip it up. We'll figure it out.
But if you're my thing is this, and I realize Blake is not doing this, so I'm not. This is not directed at Blake.
He had a quota and he had to write something today.
But if you're going into a press box for the culinary experience, that's on you. That's totally on you. What was number one?
Number one was Tennessee at Alabama, October 21st. Chicken pot pie, potatoes, mixed vegetables, and pineapple slaw. When I saw Alabama was serving a chicken pot pie, I thought, what a bold, risky choice. Then I took a bite. Delicious. So delicious, in fact, I returned for seconds. The sides were the perfect compliment. I wanted to stand and applaud the crew who prepared this meal, but no cheering in the press box.
Oh, that's good.
Georgia at Tennessee, number 2.
Who's last?
Last. 15. Alabama at Auburn. Cold Whataburger, chips, and a brownie.
Yeah, Auburn's really dropped the ball, everything I've heard.
Really?
That's what I hear. I hear they've just completely abandoned media, just like you people suck.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be great.
No, Auburn used to feed you like 3 times. And
you had seats right on the 50. It was great.
They put them in the end zone.
Oh,
now.
you're not even hardly in the stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
The Jacksonville cocktail party was 14. Skirt steak, broccoli, mashed potatoes, salad, and peach cobbler. He had that very far down the list. State was in here.
Yeah, I don't know how you would mass produce skirt steak.
Like he had Georgia at 9. Georgia's usually really good.
Like I'm a big fan of skirt steak, but you've got to cook it correctly. I don't think you would want to mass produce skirt steak and then let it sit out under a warming oven.
Skirt
for 2
steak
hours.
was in the catered Vanderbilt baseball press box when we were there that night together.
Yes.
But it had
Mexican.
been catered in from somewhere.
Yes, it was a Mexican night, right?
Yeah, and it was really good.
It's terrific on like fajitas, tacos.
Had the egg bowl at number 5. Hamburger steak, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn casserole, roll, salad, brownie, and some other dessert. Thought the hamburger steak to be an unusual choice for a Thanksgiving night meal, but everything was on point, especially the corn casserole. Can't remember what the dessert was in addition to the brownie, but it tasted good. I almost didn't miss not having Thanksgiving pie there from Blake about the egg bowl.
State usually does a pretty good job with media meals.
And you get muscadine ripple ice cream.
Yeah, I'm never doing the ice cream thing.
It's 18 degrees,
we've
and we're
had
going to
this
have the ice
conversation
cream.
so many
It's fine.
times. Yeah,
It's there.
I get it.
It's fine. So, anyway, if you'd like to see that, it's at least on knoxnews.com, but it's probably at all your favorite Gannett publications this morning.
I mean, I give Blake credit here because I wanted to make fun of it at the beginning, and now I'm interested. So, but I think
I am surprised they didn't do Thanksgiving food on the Egg Bowl night. But you already had it. Actually, smart. But
that might have been the philosophy, as most of you people have already.
Because Ole Miss sometimes tries to eat the opponent. Like, it's usually jambalaya when LSU's in town. It's usually pulled pork when Arkansas's in town. It's like, okay.
So cliche.
There is a little bit of like, oh, A&M brisket. Okay, like, that's.
I had some of the jambalaya that night. It was fine. I mean, it was bland, but it was fine. It served its purpose.
I know Rachel Nichols' husband. Get to the Nolen stuff. I know. I'm being that guy right now. It's fine. We're just hanging out.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm not an eggnog guy. I don't like eggnog. Actually,
it's disgusting.
Okay, that's fine. I like cider, like warm apple cider or something. Fine with that.
I'm okay with it. Not my favorite thing.
If I can not be a Neal and worry about the calories in it, peppermint hot chocolate would be my favorite.
Oh yeah,
Christmas.
Yeah,
refreshment. I
like hot chocolate.
Yeah,
a lot.
So
good hot chocolate.
Yeah,
amazing.
You can do a peppermint hot chocolate in the crock pot. That's really good.
Oh really?
Yeah, you use like candy canes and stuff. And
yeah,
I'm driving you guys crazy. So, all right, Walter Nolen. We said on the podcast, look, it's the last podcast prior to Christmas. Okay,
so it probably is.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Walter Nolen, A&M defensive tackle. Neal yesterday on the morning podcast, I think when he was referring to Nolen, he said 99% that he would sign with Ole Miss. 100% was DeCam Richardson, and he did commit to Ole Miss midday yesterday. Yeah, absolutely like peppermint and hot chocolate together. Yes, 100%. Mexican hot chocolate's great too. So you guys on the stream are causing this now. You keep responding.
Mexican hot chocolate. That's where you put like habanero in there or what?
Cayenne or whatever. Yeah, you're okay. Kicking it up. Yeah, Mexican cookies are really good too, like chocolate cookies. Sorry. Again, stop. You guys are causing the problem, not me. Walter Nolen left Oxford.
You put amaretto in your hot chocolate?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No. Walter Nolen left Oxford. Everybody felt good about it. The goal at the time for Ole Miss was don't let him visit Tuscaloosa or keep him from visiting Tuscaloosa or whatnot.
Yeah.
That did not happen. And then yesterday it got a little nuts. And it's why we said it feels like the old time stuff because look, we'll just be real here. When you get
Yes.
relatives involved in different ways, one wants one thing, one wants another, you're debating. And look, it is a staple of recruiting, and I mean this seriously, I'm not even making fun at this point, is identifying the decision maker in a family unit or who really has the say. You know, that it's like there's another player that Ole Miss is going after, and it was like, hey, if that's what the mom wants, you're just probably SOL. This one is you're trying to debate fact from fiction, if what you're hearing about other schools is true, whether it's not, and then what family faction will end up being the most prominent in this decision as it moves forward. And that's what caused the chaos yesterday. Georgia became a threat to Ole Miss at some point yesterday. I had initially heard, I posted on the board that Georgia was willing to make an NIL offer around the 7-figure mark, meaning $1 million there for Walter Nolen's 1 year of service that he has remaining before he goes pro.
Yeah.
Multiple Georgia people said that was not accurate.
In fact, not particularly close to accurate.
Yeah, because look, let's be honest. A lot of these deals have some collective money, and then some of those deals have some not collective money.
Well, you know, this is the part that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Yeah.
So this is where this is going. It's kind of an interesting spot. And you're going to think that I'm talking about Nolen, and probably to some degree I am. But
this is more of a general
This
conversation.
is a general thing, right? So the money that comes out of collectives is legit. It's above board. It's taxed.
You can write a company check for that money.
It's reported.
Yeah. You can make it a marketing expense.
Yes.
That's the only way to write it off, by the way. But you can do that.
So but that money is reported. It's going to be filed on your taxes. That money is above board. And that's been the game changer for programs like Ole Miss. Honestly, it's been the field leveler.
I know multiple fairly prominent donors who are more than willing to give collective above board that would never have done the 2004 type of recruiting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then there's the underground money, the under the table money, which is still out there. I think it's been minimized to a large degree.
Yeah.
But it's still out there because you have people, and now I'm not talking specifically. Okay, I'm not talking specifically.
Yeah.
You have people that go, well, I don't want to pay taxes on it. Just give me that little extra, make it in cash, and I'll go do the things I want to do with it, and then you can do
the normal NIL
stuff. And a lot of the collectives really push back on that. Like, nope, because that's not where their money's coming from. Their money's coming from, like, we'll use Ole Miss for an example, and but this applies to everybody. Hey, you have this, what is it, $21 a year for the ground level?
Yeah.
$21 a month?
Yeah, sure.
Or whatever it is. You want those people to give. You want them to give so that they feel like they're part of the program, and when they make more money, they'll give more money, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to turn it into what it used to be, which was, a couple of the donors that really loved, Auburn football, fill up a shoebox with some cash, and that's how you'd close the deal at the end. This is different, but you still have people, whether it's at the athletes or more commonly the people around them, runners, 7-on-7 coaches, handlers, disgusting people, looking for their cut. And they know they're probably not going to get a cut of the legitimate money. And I know this is shocking. They're in it for themselves, and they want their cut. And to get their cut, it's got to come under the table. And there are fewer people willing to give under the table. There are fewer donors that are willing to go, yeah, I'll give you X thousand of dollars for under the table. I'll give you the money above board. I can write it off on my taxes. I can whatever. I can however that works. And that's where we are with a lot of recruiting deals. And in the portal, you get a lot of guys coming out for this one last payday, and the people around them want their cut. Because, look, they're not going to get an NFL cut. The Cleveland Browns aren't going to throw some money under the table to Uncle Bob. No, they're just going to write you a contract. you're going to sign it. It's going to all be public knowledge. So this is your last chance to take advantage of the fact that little Johnny sure can run fast.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. I think I did that in a way where I won't get yelled at on a phone call.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, that's fair. And the point is, you're dealing with all that stuff.
Mark says he likes the old way. It's more fun. I disagree completely. I hated the old way. I thought it was stupid and it felt
because the old
dirty.
way we had to do the whole you let them get out there and it's like this purity thing and nobody so many people didn't realize how the sausage was made.
Yeah,
and you go, oh come on,
and now you see it. I mean, like what happened yesterday or Sunday or whatever was Georgia did what Georgia does. There's a reason Georgia's won 8 million games in a row. They go after the best players.
I actually think they dodged a bullet with the quarterback yesterday after he committed with a poem.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Kirby didn't go, all right. It's okay.
I haven't even read the poem.
Did you not?
No. I was driving.
I don't know if it was an iambic pentameter or not, or if he just made some things rhyme.
It wasn't a haiku?
It wasn't a haiku. No, it was a full poem. Had several stanzas. I read it. I don't remember much about it. Basically, he said he didn't want to be just a cog in Georgia's powerhouse machine.
Yeah. Wanted to step out on his own.
His new legacy.
Yeah. Well,
I get it.
I get it.
He gets a chance.
Sure.
It's whatever.
If it doesn't work out, he can transfer to Georgia. They'll take him back.
So here's the deal, though, Nolen. Just kind of trying to wrap this a little bit. Georgia came in yesterday. Georgia's obviously a threat when they get involved. I still, to this point, believe that at the moment, Ole Miss has the highest offer to Walter Nolen.
Yes.
I believe that to be fact, at least between Ole Miss and Georgia.
Yes. I mean, there were some Texas A&M rumors last night.
I don't know what to make of it.
Maybe they're true. I don't believe them.
There is a Rivals reporter who I do not know, Neal May. I don't know him, saying that he's hearing that Nolen may have a larger offer from A&M to remain in College Station, and that's the way the winds are blowing. If that to be the case, I do not believe that at the moment that's where Ole Miss thinks is probably the most likely scenario.
As of late last night, that's not what they thought.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anyone this morning. And that would have come out of nowhere. I have no idea. Georgia beat writers plus a couple people that were close to their collective did not believe that Georgia was the front runner for Walter Nolen last night.
At all.
They thought he was going to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and we talked to people that cover Georgia that we trust. Frankly, it's some of our better friends in the network, what's left of it. And they were very informed. He does not have a 7-figure offer from Georgia. He's got significantly less than that. And that is their offer. That's how they look. They've done this thing in a way where they have so many good players in the locker room. And this is something Ole Miss has to think about as they move forward in this new era. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. I saw some people going, just give him whatever they want. Okay. Short-sightedly, it's
doable.
Sure. But in the big picture, what happens then? These are young guys. It's going to get out. You can't keep it quiet. I'm in favor of making it transparent. But regardless, you can't particularly keep it quiet. And what happens when that begins to percolate in the locker room with guys who are currently on the roster, with guys who just committed? Do they go, well, hold up. He's getting what?
And some of those cats haven't signed yet.
Yeah. Well, and they don't sign. They got to come.
They haven't stepped into class.
I mean,
yet.
There's nothing stopping Tyler Barron from going to Washington today.
Yeah.
And so, I do think you have to be cognizant of that when you're running a program.
Or how you're setting the market for the next defensive tackle.
Yeah, and then here's the other part. These collectives talk to one another, and they should. They absolutely should, because if they don't, collude is probably too strong, but if they don't converse and it gets completely out of hand.
I mean, it will be owners call each other and go, hey, so
Yeah. I mean,
what's up here? What are you doing?
It's loose collusion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You hear a lot of crazy stuff about numbers and that kind of thing. And for the most part, when you hear a number, I've about decided you can cut the damn thing in half.
The one caveat, and I'm having a hard time articulating because I've got to be a little careful here, is what makes the colluding, and that, again, that's way too strong of a word, but the cooperation or the transparency important is that otherwise you're counting on people around these kids telling you what the other offers are, and that's where some of this is coming from.
Right.
That, hey, this school's doing this, and then that number gets out, but that number wasn't that specific and that true.
I'll give you an example. Let's say Scott Boras tells the Cubs that there's a deal on the table for Cody Bellinger for 7 years, $240 million. Okay. If you're the Cubs, do you take Scott Boras' word for it, or do you call around?
Right.
Do you call the Mets? Do you call the Blue Jays and go, hey, look, I mean, obviously we're competing for the player here, but did you really offer $240? Because Scott says you offered $240. I'm just curious, because if you did, we're probably out.
Yeah. Seat full of crowd?
Yeah, I mean, because that's like, whoa, really? And then so then the Blue Jays go, no, we didn't offer that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you
exactly.
I'm not going to tell you exactly where we are, but no, we're not there. That's
rich.
That's above the market value.
Okay.
Does that happen? Yeah, of course.
And that's needed in a situation like this. So, because that's some of what happened yesterday. So read between some lines here, guys. I can't go harder.
Yeah. People talk.
And then here's where I think it is. And look, it's recruiting and it's money at any point. I could be wrong. Could easily be wrong. If Walter Nolen commits somewhere today, I believe it to be Ole Miss. If he waits until January 3rd to open up more visits, which is what Steve Wilfong thinks, then all bets are off, and who the hell knows at that point.
And so I've had some people
because Wilfong's source here is the dad. He has said that. I'm not giving away any kind of secrets. That is obviously a good source, but that is one side of a seesaw right now. And we just don't know where that seesaw is going to land.
So I've had some people ask about this. It's a quiet period, which means you can't have any in-person contact.
But you can have all the phone contact you want.
Unless you're a mid-year enrollment player.
Yeah.
At which point there's a window that opens up January 3rd through the 7th.
Which is the key here.
It's a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 5-day window.
Yes.
Before the convention, after the New Year's Bowls, 5 days where you can go visit. So could he go visit Georgia? Yes, he could.
Ole Miss is in great shape if it ends this week. If it doesn't end this week, who knows?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, where Ole Miss's offer is, from what I'm told, I don't know how many people are really going to go above that. So at some point it comes down to, it's where does he think he can? Where did the people around him? Look, I think Walter Nolen wants to go to Ole Miss.
I do too.
Okay, I think he felt good about it. I think if it were up to him, I think
Walter Nolen's mother wants him at Ole Miss.
I do too. I think if it were up to him and exclusively him, it would be over. He would be getting ready for Christmas. Everything that you can pray to that this
Walter Nolen's going to commit at 11 a.m. on Christmas Day.
And if he does, have at it, bud. Go in, change my story from
Was it Carlton Martin that did that?
Yeah. Never again. I finished that morning and went, I'm never doing this again.
It was like 9 o'clock on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I did that, and I said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
that's where it stands.
I don't know whether it ends today or not. I don't know.
Yeah. That's where it stood at 9:30 to 10 o'clock last night.
11:30.
Okay. Good enough. Haven't talked to anybody this morning.
You worked it early evening. I worked it late evening. I was on the phone with people most of my drive back.
Okay. So that's where we are with Walter Nolen. We'll see where it goes. Ole Miss, obviously, in good shape in the portal overall right now. They did pick up DeCam Richardson yesterday, the Mississippi State corner. Got some length, got a lot of experience.
He walks onto Ole Miss's campus as their best corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear. He was better than any corner.
They have already picked up 4 SEC starters in the portal to this point on defense.
At minimum. Yeah.
Well, I mean, from other SEC schools.
Yeah. Well,
McDonald, Barron, Princely, and Richardson.
And Paul.
Oh, and Paul, 5. Yeah.
I keep thinking of Oklahoma as a SEC team.
So Key Lawrence.
I mean, they're technically in the SEC now, basically.
Yeah. And they like Louis Moore.
Yeah. No, they've added 7 or 8 guys.
I don't know anything about the Nicholson kid, to be honest.
I mean, he's solid.
Yeah.
Played in the Big Ten. They've added 7 or 8 guys out of the SEC or Big Ten.
Yeah.
The 2 power leagues.
Yeah. Move on with the show in a second. First, brought to you by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. It's getting close to the end of 2023. So if you need to make year-end donations for tax purposes, call the foundation. They'll walk you through their philanthropic giving initiatives, whether it's the Vault Society or Empower. Both initiatives give you a tax-deductible way to support the Champions Now campaign. If you're working on estate planning, call the foundation. Discuss Forever Ole Miss. For information, 662-915-7159. GiveToAthletics.com. Again, that is GiveToAthletics.com, or pick up Peach Bowl tickets at OleMissTix.com.
If you need some late stocking stuffer ideas, something for the boss or a Secret Santa, make sure that you get something for your own feet as well. Take advantage of the incredible savings with Dead Soxy's holiday sale. Head over to deadsoxy.com. Use the promo code Rebel Grove. Get 33% off the best socks you'll ever put on your feet. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What account should you pull from first? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan, whether you meet at his office in Collierville, can't read today, or prefer Zoom from anywhere. Schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. I'll have a post-game column on the 30th. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt, Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors. If you're searching for residential or commercial properties in Oxford or Tupelo, contact Whitney McNutt for amazing professional service and support. Contact Whitney at tmhomes.com or 662-567-2573. All of my coverage from Atlanta, starting on the 26th, is brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. A-Stock is a Nashville-based online retail company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items start at just $1. That's right. Every item starts at just $1, no matter what the retail value may be. So shop now at astock.bid. That's ASTOCK.BID. Or download their app. Name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. A-Stock has multiple locations around Nashville as well as Memphis, some in Indiana, and more coming soon that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. And speaking of late holiday gifts, head to collegecornerstore.com. They've got all the best Rebel gear throughout Mississippi, 2 locations in the Jackson area, 1 in Oxford. They also have all the Peach Bowl gear as you get ready for that game. Again, collegecornerstore.com. And we're brought to you by Argent Wealth. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. So call Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team today, and they'll conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Argent Wealth on the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Get 10% off your first year's fees.
Podcast is brought to you by Northeast Spark, NESPARC. Service people across rural communities. 2 packages: the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's NESPARC.com. 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, and much more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County, that's 662-238-3159. So you brought this up in 10 Thoughts this week, and we've been kind of following this topic around between us for a couple weeks now, especially as, or more than that, as Ole Miss continues to win games, as Florida has gone into the tank in a number of ways. Things not working out very well for Billy Napier here in Gainesville. He goes into quite the hot seat next season, and then has that brutal close of a finish. I don't remember the exact order, but he plays Georgia. You okay?
Yeah, you're not listening on headphones. If you did, you'd hear this. Sounds like
How often is it happening?
It's just happened twice. I don't know what it is.
Like a gong?
No, it's not. I don't know what kind of sound effect it is, and I have no idea where it's coming from or why. But it is what it is.
Through a computer?
It's through the soundboard.
Oh,
clearly.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very pleasant sounding. It feels like something magical's happening.
Like a spa music kind of thing, or
it's the
meditation app kind of thing, like a sound bowl.
You know, like when Cinderella does she have the thing, or the magic fairy princess or whatever does
Tinkerbell?
this? Like when they do that, it sounds like that's what the sound it would make with their magic wand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one of the princesses has a magic wand?
Don't they almost all have magic wands at some point?
It's been a minute since we were into princesses. The girls are a little past that now.
Elsa has her wand or does she just use hands? Is it wand or hands?
By the time
I should know the answer.
By the time Frozen came out, the girls were past that stage.
It feels like you're describing Tinkerbell, but
Cinderella never had a magic wand, did she? Did Snow White have a magic wand?
I don't think Snow White would have had a wand.
She had the dwarfs.
Well, yes, she had dwarfs. So she had minions, but she didn't have a wand.
Who's your favorite dwarf?
I don't. Snow White is not one that Carly Ann ever really got down the road.
There it is again. It's crazy.
What's causing it?
I have no idea.
Well, yeah, the fairy godmother does have a wand. Yes, that is correct.
Tink has a wand. Is that short for Tinkerbell?
That is short for Tinkerbell. Okay. Yes. I know. Look, it is December the 19th, guys. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, you said to drag me up here.
Yeah, it's fine. Florida closes. The 3 games prior to Ole Miss are Georgia, LSU, and Texas in some order. They play Ole Miss, and they have Florida State the next week. They have to start out 3-1 to have any hope of a bowl game, probably. And those 4 include games against Miami, Mississippi State, and Texas A&M. It is a brutal schedule. It is the toughest schedule in the country by far. They're running it back with Graham Mertz as their quarterback next season. Things are not going well in Gainesville to this point. They lose Princely to Ole Miss. They've had a hard time in the portal. Saw they picked up some dude yesterday, but whatever. But the thought has been, oh God, even from Ole Miss fans, as that schedule came out, is all the talk next fall, Kiffin to Gainesville. And we've talked about how that would be a fit that would make a lot of sense. But you brought up a good point. If we're going to say that nothing prior to 2020 matters, and that it is all about current history, about NIL collectives, about moving in the right direction, about organization, about all those type of things, it does make everyone stop and go, but why?
Yes. That's my point. Look, I mean, I think if you ask anybody in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, probably even the 2010s, they would tell you Florida's a better job. Florida's won national championships. Ole Miss hasn't. Florida's won Heisman trophies. Ole Miss hasn't. Florida's played in the SEC championship game on multiple occasions. Ole Miss hasn't. Those things are not debatable. But starting in 2021, which is a completely new era in college athletics, certainly in college football, I don't know that you can make that argument anymore. Ole Miss has great facilities. Florida has great facilities. Kids don't care about stadiums. I've never to this point heard a kid go, I really liked school A better than school B, but that stadium in school B, nope. They just don't think like that. So it's about collectives. It's about a different type of resource. And Ole Miss is way ahead of Florida. Way ahead. Florida's roster right now is being decimated. Ole Miss's roster has not lost anyone. And when I say of significance, I don't mean the human beings. I mean in terms of your contribution to the team. They've not lost anyone to the portal that they were fighting to keep. And so I know it's going to come up next year because that's just how media works. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, there's nothing to it. That being said, I'd be really surprised if it was something that Lane took particularly seriously.
And yeah, I see a couple of things in the stream tonight. Florida has the ocean. Gainesville's not on the water.
No.
Gainesville's an hour and a half from the water.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's the Gulf of Mexico, not the other way.
I mean, if you told me Miami came open and Miami was serious about it and they had a lot of money and they were going to, okay, sure. I get that.
And he's flying wherever he's going either way.
Yeah.
It's like an extra 30 minutes.
I mean, but look, here's the thing about where Ole Miss is today, where Missouri is today. We're a handful of, there's a lot of programs that are ahead of Florida right now. Way ahead. I don't mean just a little ahead. Way ahead.
Florida inside, I get there are no divisions. Florida inside the SEC East, though, I'm still going to categorize them because it helps and makes sense. They're behind Georgia. They're behind Missouri. They're behind Tennessee. And you can argue they're behind Kentucky.
Yeah, no, I think they are behind Kentucky.
South Carolina's a dumpster fire. Although their NIL is better than Florida.
I was going to say South Carolina's ahead of Florida from an NIL standpoint.
And then Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt.
Unless you believe the rumor, at which point.
But right now.
If the rumor
I got to see that.
I got to see it. But if the rumor comes to fruition, I am super interested. But yeah, and then on the West, they're behind Alabama. They're behind Auburn. They're behind LSU. They're clearly behind Ole Miss.
A&M.
Yeah. Texas.
Oklahoma.
I think. Oklahoma's got to figure this out. But
they're in better shape than Florida.
Yeah, they're in better shape than Florida. So the whole people, everybody doing this, oh, he's definitely going to go. I don't buy that at all. In fact, I think it's highly unlikely. And people, will the rumor come out? Sure. Will agents
100%
perpetuate that rumor? Yeah, because that's their job. I mean, again, we come back to the other thing we talked about yesterday. I mean, your job as an agent is to get your client as much money as possible, as much security as possible, as much whatever as possible. So I get that's going to frustrate fans. And they're going to get frustrated at me that I don't get frustrated. That's just what your agent's supposed to do for you. He's supposed to always, or she's supposed to always be trying to get you a better gig. Or a better, when I say a better gig, that doesn't mean relocating. It means a better contract where you are. No problem with that at all. But in a scenario where Ole Miss is as good as we think Ole Miss has a chance to be next year, and Florida is as bad as we think Florida has a chance to be, and they make a move and the job comes open and you come up with the list. I mean, I keep putting Missouri in the same sentence. I think you would see Drinkwitz's name on that list. I think you'd see Kiffin's name on that list. And I would look at both of them and go, what are you thinking? If I were either of you, I wouldn't do this right now. Now, are there jobs that you would leave Ole Miss or Missouri for? Sure. That's not one.
The Venn diagram keeps shrinking. It still has jobs in the middle, but it keeps shrinking.
Yeah.
2 years ago, it's a different list than today. It's a far different list than today. So I'm just getting out ahead of it because I don't think Billy Napier survives next season. I just can't see it. They're not putting a roster together that makes a lot of sense. The schedule sucks.
From the sounds of it, he barely survived this year.
And he could lose that game in Starkville next year, and that just be it.
But what I think you will see.
Oh, he also plays UCF on the non-con too.
Yeah, I think what you will see next year, though, is that you're going to see which media has adjusted to the new paradigm and which ones are hanging on for dear life to the past because that's all they know. That's what they've operated in. Yeah, Florida was once a great job. I just don't think it's a very good job anymore. Steve Spurrier won there. He won everywhere.
It's a program that has been it's been a great program at times, but it is a program that's been propped up by 2.5 really good coaches. Meyer, Spurrier, and then Mullen did pretty well. Better than he gets credit for being because of the way it dumpster fired at the end.
But in the new era, it's been a disaster.
Yes.
And that's all that really matters.
Because, Staples wrote that big thing on them a couple years ago or a year and a half ago about, oh, God, they're so ahead of the collective, and here's why this has worked, and they're organizing this, and that has not worked at all.
Mm-mm.
That entire plan, because it showed you have to have the big money at the top that is committed. Like, the other stuff really matters. I'm not discouraging any of you guys that are giving. It matters. But you got to have the ringleaders, and Florida hasn't been able to substantially, consistently get those ringleaders. They went, no, we're just going to get the monthlies, and that's going to carry the whole product. No, it's not.
Well, and a lot of their student base, some of their student body comes from different parts of the country that are not as into college
it's
sports.
sneakily a different base from that standpoint compared to most SEC schools.
Not even sneakily. A lot of New England, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those people have typically pro sport loyalties, or they're just going south because they went south because it was cool to go south, but they're going to go back up to the Northeast.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule next season. Miami at home to open the year. Very critical game for both teams.
Yeah.
Miami's going to be without Van Dyke. I don't remember who they've signed. Who'd they get? I don't remember.
Didn't they added somebody the other day?
They added a quarterback?
I think so.
Okay. I'll look at that in a minute. Sanford, okay, whatever. And then back-to-back, A&M at home and at Mississippi State.
Good luck.
They get a bye week. UCF at home. That's losable.
Yeah.
At Tennessee and Kentucky at home. No gimmies.
No, there's L's in there.
And then another bye week, and then that starts the absolute slate from hell. Georgia and Jacksonville, Texas and Austin, LSU and Gainesville, Ole Miss and Gainesville, at Florida State.
Whew.
I mean, we're talking scenario here. I mean, here's what's bad about their schedule is that if you go, hey, you got to do win-loss toss, I can easily only give them one win.
Roll through it real fast. I'll do it real fast.
Miami.
Toss.
Sanford.
Win.
A&M.
Loss.
State.
Toss.
On the road. UCF.
Toss.
Tennessee.
Loss.
Kentucky.
I'll give them a toss because I'm being generous.
Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State.
L.
Find 4.
It's hard.
I mean, the 4 is Miami, UCS, Sanford, Mississippi State.
Okay.
5 is Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then 6 is stealing something after you've won all those tosses.
Yeah, Grind says do best case. You win those 5 and you steal a game.
I can't best. That's their problem. Best. I mean, pie in sky best case is 7 games.
Yeah.
Or I'm just throwing them games.
And worst case is 2.
Oh.
And so you meet in the middle. 2 and 7 is 4.5. He won't survive 4.5.
I mean, to make a bowl, they really need to be 6-1 before that stretch.
Yeah.
And they're not getting through all that 6-1.
I wouldn't think.
So that's the problem there. That's why we're heading it off is just, and it might be so obvious at that point that Ole Miss and a lot of other schools are better gigs where it's not even the thought that you guys are thinking it would be right now. Because again, it's on paper versus watching this play out is a completely different scenario. You don't know what Florida's going to be looking like in a lot of different ways at that point. Yeah, 6-6, 7-5 is just best of all best cases. That's it. I'll be fascinated to see where Vegas puts their over-under because I think you got to put the over-under at like 4.5.
Yeah. I'd think about the under.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
they lost at home to Arkansas.
they did. 2 years ago, lost at home to Vanderbilt.
I mean, they were not only not good, they were really not good. They were aggressively not good.
You don't think that after May or the May portal period is going to be overly aggressive, do you? You think most decisions are made by then?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have some tampering in the spring, and you have a few surprises where guys just aren't pleased with their deal. But for the most part, one thing they've learned about the portal is that you do want them there for the spring, not for the spring practices necessarily, but for the
the acclimation,
the chemistry building, the getting used to being around there. The here's how we do things. Get to know your teammates. And then, yeah, you do get some installation in the spring, but you're going to reinstall throughout the summer and in the fall. It's not minimizing the spring practices, but if you talk to people, they'll tell you it's not about those 15 practices. It's about those 6 months that you're on campus, that you're with your future teammates, that you're getting to know guys. That's when it matters. They have found that when guys don't show until the summer, there's a higher rate of failure.
Oh.
Doesn't mean that it's not worth doing, but there's less acclimation. The guys are less familiar. You don't like, you were talking to Eli and those guys. And they're like, yeah, I didn't know who that guy was. You want to avoid as much of that as you can.
Do we have final word on Bentley yet?
Not yet. Last I heard, they were still talking, and he was considering staying.
He did the hieroglyphics Twitter post a couple days ago, but I didn't know what to make of that or not make of that. I say that because there is a running back that is a potential number 2 person, but he's he's probably not getting in the portal until after that, during that May period. So
Chase.
Yes.
How dare you?
I'm just saying. They needed a backup. I know somebody who might be out there. But
are you saying that Ole Miss might be pre-portaling?
No, I'm just saying that somebody might be
jumping
in the portal later and then
right
reaching out to the Rebels at that point and going, hey, would you be interested in my services? Once I am in the portal and legal and we can all communicate.
I've never been more disappointed.
Yeah. Just saying. It's a thought there.
So what's going to happen today is someone's going to post on one of the other sites that McCready said
that Ole Miss is tampering with a running back.
Yeah.
And that Bentley's not coming back. Because if Bentley comes back, this is all relevant anyway.
That's
and it sounds like Ulysses might be coming back.
That's what's going to happen.
Okay. Still waiting on that Judkins public announcement, too. That might be today or tomorrow, right?
I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just takes a minute to get the edit together.
Get all the graphics
I asked
going.
Jordan Watkins about how long it took him. He said it took him a week
to get the graphic ready?
Put everything ready to go, yeah. He worked on that for a week.
Okay.
And then he was disappointed because when he did it, he did not realize that A.J. Brown had done the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, really?
Thing. He thought
that was new and
he thought
unique.
He was onto something.
The internet's been around for a minute. It's hard to have a lot of original ideas at this point.
Of course, when A.J., you're going to feel old. When A.J. did that, Jordan was probably like 15.
Because A.J. did that in like 2018.
Was it that late? So
Yeah.
Jordan was he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't paying a whole hell of a lot of
2017, 2018, something like that. Seahawks beat the Eagles last night, by the way. Speaking of DK versus AJ.
I saw that.
Saw Freeze congratulated them both on Twitter. Made sure he made it about him yesterday.
Get out there and make it about you. He was good at that.
Because he was like, hell, we had great times. I'm like, did you, though?
I mean,
can you remind me of those real quick?
Yeah, you really whipped.
They beat Georgia.
Arkansas Little Rock.
They beat the hell out of Georgia.
They did.
In 16.
They did. That was a good time for them.
I mean, just whip Kirby's ass that day.
Yeah.
Some great first halves against Florida State and Alabama.
They did. That was a hell of a half.
Oh, at halftime at Florida State, I went, these bastards are winning the national title. Coming off the Sugar Bowl, I'm like, hey.
By the middle of the fourth quarter, you weren't saying that.
No, not so much. I was feeling really bad for Ken Webster is what I was doing that night.
Oh, yeah. He got hurt bad.
That's when he messed his leg up. Yeah. So, all right, we got some comments, got some stuff. We'll move on with the show. First, Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. A lot of different flavors available for you. They got 7 options right now. They got the soy ginger coming soon as well. You can also get a gift card. Head to Prime Shrimp. They have a coupon code to get a little discount on a gift card. Not sure what to get the person in your life for Christmas. You can get a rebelgrove.com gift card as well, but our gift, digital gift certificate, if you will. But primeshrimp.com.
I need to put that in the
code RG with Prime Shrimp. Buy 5 pouches or more. Use the code RG. Get 25% off. Well, that way they can try all the different flavors. They can figure out the ones that work for them in recipes. Great for lunches, salads, and much more. So whether it's a gift card or trying the pouches with code RG, that's primeshrimp.com.
I just put that link in the stream, which made me lose my place here in the deal. So I'm going to stall for a moment while I try to figure out where the hell I was on my document here. We're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Get in touch with John if you want to have a trip that creates a lifetime of unique memories. Just give him some parameters, give him a budget, and he'll give you options that you're not going to find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square. Opa is the perfect place to plan your company dinner, your festive party event. Fabulous food, great craft libations as well. They can accommodate up to 200 guests. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie, 601-421-7147. We're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. We'll have picks up for the bowl games later this week, assuming I can get the guys to do their picks. Working on that and having to crack the whip a little bit, getting it done. That's brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. If your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialist can help. Keep in mind that payment of service is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. You've got nothing to lose, so give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 662-832-5138 or check out their new and improved website, ServiceSpecialistLTD.com. Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. So schedule your appointment today and take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's CorinthDental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Or are you an experienced entrepreneur wanting to diversify? I would have just been fired. Yeah, I would have. But all right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses, uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. Got nothing to lose. MyPerfectFranchise.net. Andy at MyPerfectFranchise.net or 404-973-9901.
You okay over there?
Yeah, when I use that expression, in my mind, it's the jockey.
Oh, yeah.
It's the jockey hitting the horse, like, let's go. We're down the stretch.
Yeah.
It's time to kick it into that next gear.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think that's the general connotation and interpretation.
Yeah, my mind would never have gone to the other place.
No, I don't either. Style Assembly, Women's Boutique on the Square. Clothes, shoes, purses, jewelry, art, and more. Huge selection of Gooder sunglasses for men and women. And they have your online store up and going. Shop StyleAssembly.com. Click shop now. Shipping free anywhere in the U.S. on orders over $150. Exclusive discount code RG15 on the website between now and the end of the year. 15% off your first online purchase. They also are a corporate sponsor of the Grove Collective, as well as a founding member of the Grove Collective Business Coalition. So let them help you with Christmas shopping. Still time, 6 days from Christmas. You can do it online again at shopstyleassembly.com or stop by the store, 203 North Lamar. Ask Kate, the owner, and she'll personally help you out. Did you see your boys' quotes yesterday? Kirk Ferentz?
I did not.
He was updating the offensive coordinator shirts yesterday, and he was a little spicy yesterday for Kirk.
He gets spicy here and there sometimes.
He was frustrated. I think he's still having probably some problems at home. You know, he did fire his kid.
How old's Kirk, though?
I mean, I would assume
he's at that
60-ish.
He's at that age where he doesn't really care. I mean, come on.
Peace is more where Kirk's at, and his 68.
Yeah, come on. She doesn't have that card in her arsenal anymore.
We're not sleeping on the couch is not the issue right now.
Whatever. I mean, the house is empty. They got extra beds in the house.
Kirk probably lives in a fairly large house.
I'm going to guess the Ferentzes are doing fine.
Yeah.
So when she says, you're not sleeping in this bed, he's like, okay. I mean, he's going to be all right.
So
nothing for you tonight. Okay.
He was updating this. He starts out with this. He's frustrated by the insinuation that they need to score more points. Kirk doesn't necessarily believe in that. He goes, anybody that comes in here has to have an appreciation. We've won a few games. I know sometimes we all forget about that. We've won a few games here. I probably wouldn't be standing here after 25 years if that weren't the case. And complimentary football is the best way to win here, in my opinion. He says he's asked about their streak of wins and stuff, and he says that's pretty significant for me not to be focused on that. First and foremost, I really be negligent of my duties. And then we've had a couple of balls in the air recruiting of our own guys, actually recruiting and being out of the office. And then he starts taking some shots at some other people, talking about how people got so focused on offense instead of wins. He gives these two quotes. He goes, I can think of a guy who entered the conference recently that came with widely acclaimed offensive stats and all that. That's usually how those guys get to become well-known. But then you look a little deeper. What's this guy's wins per game? And there's usually a correlation. People just throw the ball around. It makes it tougher to win. It makes it tougher to be good on defense. There's also a school on the West Coast right now that's going to recommit to defense. Gave up 42 to Tulane last year in a bowl game.
Whew.
It was actually 46 at a place where Ronnie Lott played. Now they're going to think about defense. To me, that's the first thing we thought about 25 years ago, and that ain't going to change. So the coordinator coming in is going to have to understand that is who we are. It's worked pretty well. We're looking to improve, but we're not going to be running the run and shoot around here.
All right.
What is important is wins per game. If you want to evaluate a coordinator, why don't you check that column?
Oh. Grind says, what about their schedule next year? Illinois State, that's a W.
Who are we looking at?
Iowa.
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. Can we hold on? I'm going to let you go through the schedule.
We might win the national championship here.
Go ahead, and then I'll.
Iowa State, W. Troy, W. At Minnesota, W. Open date to get ready for Ohio State.
Loss.
Washington at home.
Loss.
You're so mean. At Michigan State, W.
Yeah.
Northwestern at home, W. Wisconsin at home, W. At UCLA, W. Weekend off. At Maryland, toss. Sure. Nebraska at home, W. We're going 9-3 at a worst next year. We might be 10-2 getting into the playoff. Hell, they might be coming here for a playoff game next year.
Lane Kiffin's going to God's ears. Please.
Lane's like,
hey, Lane, you're going to make the playoff. You're going to host the game, and you're going to get Iowa.
Lane's going to be like, there are some people that say McCready talks things into existence. If he does that, I might actually talk to him.
I understand what Kirk is saying, and he's won a lot of games, and he's 68, and I get he's a little sensitive. But come on. You're not taking the next step because your offense is freaking abysmal. Because it's defying logic. Their defense is on the field for so many more plays than everybody else's defense. They're being asked to do way too much. He understands that.
Did you see the new punter commitment? Crushes the ball. Did you see that? We went out and got
his ceiling is what it is because of his crappy offense.
We went out and got the best punter in the country. The best. That kid, he has a leg of he's like a bionic leg. He punted this one ball, and I don't think the damn thing landed.
I did see he had a 5.5 second hang time as a high school kid.
It looked like Aaron Judge getting a hold of a hanging curve. Just crushed it. Most people can't kick a ball like that. We go out and get the best punter, lose him, and then get another great punter. Because that's who we are. Deal with it. I can tell you got all this pent-up emotion, but let it go. It is what it is. You're never going to punt like that. Your teams are never going to punt like Iowa.
He's basically saying he doesn't want LSU's offense.
Look, not everybody wants hot sauce on everything. Sometimes people just want a little more subtle.
Is that going to win the chili cook-off?
We're not in the chili cook-off. It's not what we're trying to do.
He's trying to go 9-3.
I just don't like your attitude right now. So I'm kind of
he's settling for 9-3. What he's saying is
I'm emotionally checking out of this
conversation. We can't go 12-0, so we're just going to double down on our 9-3.
You know what? Sometimes those punt returners fumble the punt. The ball gets kicked so high and so far that the punt returner kind of scrambles. Sometimes a muffed punt on a 60-yard punt is better than the run and shoot.
Yes, he's the Big Ten's Mark Richt. That's a good comparison.
Well, Mark Richt had a hell of a run.
Mm-hmm. How many rings he got?
Well, he set it up for the next guy. So just think about the next guy.
Mark Stoops will have a hell of a time.
Going to win titles.
Graham made a good point. You mentioned Wisconsin. They miss Michigan and Ohio State, but still have a really tough schedule next year because they play Alabama in the non-con. Who schedules that? If you're Wisconsin, what the hell are you doing?
You're an idiot.
No.
I
mean, it's at Camp Randall. They'll have a hell of a crowd.
Well, that's great. Jump around. That'll be awesome.
And then get their ass kicked.
Yeah. You might want to do jump around after the first quarter.
Alabama, SC, Penn State, Oregon, Iowa at Kinnick. Longo's going to have a tough time. Longo's Alabama games have not gone well to this point in his career. So
No.
can see how that goes for him. You mentioned the Nebraska quarterback transfer or commit.
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, that is correct.
You about to read the poem?
I am. I was gonna give you the poem.
All
I know
right.
you were curious, so I have it here. Let me find it. 1 second. I mean, I wonder who wrote it for him. Is my question. Like, who sits down?
God, you don't think the young man could write his own poem?
He might be a poet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. I deserve that one. Actually, I completely deserved.
I mean, what a stereotypical thing to assume that just because he plays football, he doesn't have any artistic. Can't write a poem. That Greg Hardy wrote a poem back in the day.
Did calligraphy and stuff too. He designed stationery and stuff. Hardy was quite creative.
I rest my case. Read me the damn poem.
That day when they all just sat Indian style and talked to him down in the field. Greg holding court.
Read the poem.
I'm looking for it.
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
hadn't found it?
No. I mean, it was everywhere, and now when I need it quickly, I'm having a hard time finding it.
That's the way that works.
Yeah, whatever. Everybody's hanging in. It's fine. Tell me about Troy while we're looking for it.
They play basketball. A lot of times they go with the 2-guard lineup, sometimes a 3-guard lineup. They're the Trojans. They're from the sort of the Pine Belt of Alabama, playing the Sun Belt Conference.
They played in the last game at Tad Smith. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I was going to go there. Probably will wear the Road Reds tonight, trimmed in black.
Really?
I have spent no time on the Troy game. Ole Miss ranked, by the way, ranked number 25 in the Associated Press poll.
Did they move up in the coaches at all? What happened?
I didn't look.
You didn't?
I did not.
Okay.
I was driving a lot yesterday. Yeah, Robert Kimdichie liked poetry. Ole Miss a 12-point favorite tonight, according to Mark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 25 in both, according to Rebels 99. Yeah, good point here. Reggie Roby, one of the great all-time punters. He's an former Iowa Hawkeye. Punting is something that we take seriously at Iowa. It's an afterthought till you need a punter. Suddenly you got to punt, and your punter shanks one 36 yards, and it doesn't happen for you.
That's not what I said.
I'm just pointing it out.
Where the hell is this poem? Like, I had it in 10 places, and right now, I'm having a terrible time finding it. What is the deal? The kid clearly doesn't have enough social media presence because you can't just search for him quickly where this is an easy thing.
All right, here we go.
You have it already?
I think I have it, yes.
Okay.
It's written in the voice of Night Before Christmas, apparently.
Okay.
In the realm of college dreams where purpose takes flight. Is this really his? No. Here we go.
Okay. So you're having a hard time too?
No, I've got it right here. Oh, it is, yeah. How about that? In the realm of college dreams where purpose takes flight, enter Dylan Raiola, creating his narrative in the night.
Yeah.
Once lured by Georgia where powerhouse glory gleamed, yet Nebraska's purpose in his heart brightly beamed. Yeah, he wrote this himself. In the scarlet and cream where legacies entwine, Dylan, like Rogers, Rozier, and Crouch, a hero in the line. No longer a cog in some powerhouse machine, but a quarterback with an even grander ambition unseen.
Yes.
So fellow fans await with hope in the air for Dylan to choose, his purpose to declare. In a weekend's decision, destiny calls to fulfill his purpose where a new dynasty enthralls. There you go.
What's your thoughts?
It's creative.
You're okay with it?
He's got to win now. Because if you don't, they're going to throw the poems in your face for the rest of time. Everyone's going to have a poem making fun of you.
If he's even average.
You got to be really good now. You just
So you would advise your kid not to do that?
Oh, I would tell Carson, no, don't do that. I would not wish that upon my son. I feel safe knowing Carson as well as I do that he would not do that.
But you'd be like, hey.
I also feel safe knowing that if Carson were playing against someone who had done the poem and they were kicking the ass, that he would start creating stanzas.
It's pretty competitive.
He's quite competitive, yes. I will give Carson credit. When Carson takes the field, he does not care who scores the goal. He's
just like the goal to be scored.
He simply wants to win badly.
How many minutes do they play in high school soccer?
2 40-minute halves.
So 80 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then extra time, stoppage time.
Okay. So they were down 2-0 after like 60 last night.
They were down 2-0 after like 65 minutes.
Okay.
It was getting bleak. But then they scored. And then they scored again.
Do you find that once a team gets that first one, it's a little easier to get the second? Like, does it open up a little bit, or is that not like?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a 3-point shooter when he's just can't get one to go, and then he gets one to go, and then he gets the second one to go, and all of a sudden he wants the ball.
Yeah,
yeah, it's like that a little bit. They had a lot of good shots on goal that they just missed.
Yeah.
By the way, kudos to Brandon High School. That facility's amazing.
Oh, really?
It's awesome. I mean, it's probably better than some
really
FCS schools. Really well done.
Okay.
Scoreboard was really nice. The whole sound system, the whole deal. Credit to them. I mean, I'm totally serious.
Ken Palm predicting a 10-point win tonight for the Rebels. They're predicting 79-69 over Troy. Again, remember, Ken Palm is all computers, so it does not like Ole Miss very much. But 10-point win, 83% chance of a win tonight for Ole Miss against the Trojans. They're giving them a 76% chance against the Golden Eagles in Biloxi on the 23rd, and then an 86% chance against Bryant, predicting a 12-point win on New Year's Eve.
Bryant beat FAU earlier in the year.
They did. That's correct.
That's why.
Transitive property also does not work for basketball much better than it works for football.
No, it does not.
There's this thing called matchups, and it creates some different situations there.
And early in seasons, especially in November in seasons, sometimes coaches are experimenting a little bit, and something tells me FAU didn't, when they lost to Bryant, they probably didn't go, well, that's it. We're done. Something up.
No, my email was blowing up all of a sudden with multiple things. Got an email that David Pollack will be one of the breakfast speakers for the Peach Bowl. So
it's great.
Former Georgia Bulldog will be talking there at that on the 28th or 29th. I assume it's for the teams. Maybe it can be for Neal too if you'd like to go.
I think it's just the teams.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think the media is welcome.
You're not invited to that?
I don't think we're invited to the breakfasts.
Also saw we can do a Zoom with David Cutcliffe and Kevin Sumlin to recap the 10-year anniversary of the 2013 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, which was Johnny Manziel losing to Duke. So,
if I were on the Duke beat, I might do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that Ole Miss and Penn State is overly interested in that.
I wouldn't think there's a ton of interest in the Ole Miss Penn State media on that. But
for Ole Miss, again, basketball, just kind of looking at the numbers here, you're just keeping winning. I do think they're better than the computers are showing right now. Ken Palm still has them with 19 overall wins, but 6-12 in the SEC currently. They're better than that. Still against that shooting the three and defending the three in ways that I did not anticipate from this team in any way. They are currently 23rd in the nation in three-point shooting, and they are currently 16th in the nation in defending the three-pointer. It goes completely the other way when you look at rebounding. Their offensive rebounding percentage is only 202 nationally, and then their preventing offensive rebounds, their defensive rebounding percentage 331st nationally, 331 on preventing offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they got to fix that. Can't do that in the league against the good teams. That'll cost you. That will end up costing you games. That kind of the bank robbery thing. You keep robbing banks and getting away with it.
Not giving away a lot of empty possessions, though, making people work the clock. I mean, opponents are 287th nationally in shot clock against Ole Miss. really taking a lot of time to get that shot. Again, and Ole Miss offensively has done a good job kind of getting that extra pass, finding spacing there in their offense. And I mentioned this to Neal yesterday. I don't think this was online. 9 steal turnovers, basically meaning doing dumb crap. Ole Miss 7th in the country. They are not turning the ball over in non-steal situations at all.
Well, that's why they're undefeated.
Yeah, they're not throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
And then the outside, they're not – I don't know if you can – a little bit you can cause these, but a lot of it's luck. And if you're looking at a sign where maybe Ole Miss is even a little better than we think, it's this. They're not getting any help in that category from a non-steal turnover percentage on defense, meaning teams doing dumb things against them. They are 345th nationally, almost the unluckiest team in the country from a non-steal turnover perspective. So just something to kind of watch as time plays out there. Ole Miss hitting 74% of their free throws. That's 72nd nationally, which is good. It's in the top quarter-ish of teams in the country. 56 in blocks. That has to do with Sharp, obviously, being very prominent in that category there inside for Ole Miss. And then defensively, they're averaging they're 43rd nationally in steals. Just a few numbers there as we discuss basketball and wrap up that headed into, again, Troy tonight, Troy, Southern Miss, and Bryant, and then Tennessee to open conference play. That is Saturday, January 6th for that one there in Knoxville, the SEC home opener. They have back-to-back games at home. That is Florida on Wednesday, January 10th. Big game right there. Huge game for Ole Miss. And then Vanderbilt at home on that Saturday, which should be a win. Even Ken Palm giving them an 85% chance of winning that game against the Commodores there at home at that point. So it's kind of a basketball roundup. Come back after the break and hit a couple other things. But first, G&M Pharmacy. That's in Oxford, Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs. They are offering their high-dose flu shot for any patient, especially patients over 65. Most clinics typically give standard dose to all patients. So I highly recommend 65 and olders come get the high-dose flu shot from them. They also have the RSV vaccine for anyone who would like that protection. They give those by appointment, which makes getting in and out super easy. Just give them a call to schedule. That's 662-236-2222 for G&M or 662-252-2321 for Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs.
Southern Traditions Farm is a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails. So much offered at Southern Traditions, including horseback riding offerings from beginner lessons with trainer Susan Walt to buying your first horse and competing at nationally recognized competitions. Also, it's a great venue for events, so get in touch with them on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm. Would you like some peace of mind knowing that your roof is taken care of? Whether you need an inspection, a new roof, or a maintenance program, Riverland Roofing has you covered. Home or business as a GAF Master Elite Contractor. They can offer warranties that last a lifetime. Licensed and insured, Riverland services Mississippi and its surrounding states. Text or call Riverland today at 662-644-4297. Are you ready for the ultimate college experience? Welcome to College Town, Oxford, your new home away from home. They know you want the best, and that's exactly what they offer. No more long commutes or missing out on campus events at Ole Miss. They're right next door to the campus, offering spacious 2, 3, 4, and 5-bedroom cottages, each with individual leases because they believe in flexibility and simplicity. So don't break up the gang. Grab your friends, pick out your favorite floor plan, and reserve it today at collegetownoxford.com. Collegetown Oxford, this must be the place. Text their VIP list today to be the first to know when their leasing for fall 2024 is open. 662-300-3733. And I'll have a mailbag up tomorrow. It's brought to you by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's International Realty to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how that works. 612-805-5929 or email art@arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Probably the last show prior to Christmas. We got signing day tomorrow. Again, we never do a show on signing day. Well, try to get all the stuff turned over there in the morning. I would assume most everybody will turn their paperwork. Narelle White is in good shape after all that blow up over the weekend. I guess on Sunday is when that happened. He's supposed to be signing in Moss Point at 2 o'clock tomorrow. That's the same time Lane Kiffin is speaking, but just get out ahead of it. Everything appears to be fine there if they do not announce Narelle White prior to 2 o'clock.
They will probably have his paperwork.
Yeah. I have a hunch will be on the list that we get from Ole Miss tomorrow at 1:45 p.m., even though he is not doing it till 2
Yeah.
in Moss Point.
I saw where Tristan Jernigan's not doing his until Friday.
Oh, really?
And I thought, I don't know that either Mike Elko or Nick Saban's going to let you wait 48 hours to send your paperwork.
Yeah.
They might hold your name.
Give them the paperwork, and you can probably say it whenever you want to say it, and they'll play along.
Wouldn't you want your name?
But the other side...
Wouldn't you want your name on the list?
Well, also, the side that's not getting you, they have no reason to let you do that if they want to be jerks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes to Alabama, A&M can be like, hey, it's not us.
Yeah.
We didn't get the paperwork.
Yeah. That's not even being a jerk. It's an honest answer to someone ask you. I guess your answer is, I don't really comment on other players, but no, we don't. He's not on our list.
A lot of talk about Evan Stewart going to Alabama. They're from Texas A&M.
A lot.
I think that's probably true.
Almost certainly.
So, but again, I've got a couple podcasts coming. You and Siski are doing something tomorrow. Is that correct? Is that the schedule?
Yeah, Siski and I think we're going to plan to start around 6. We'll take calls. We'll go a couple hours.
Oh, it's a night show.
A night show, yeah, because Kiffin's at 2.
Right, okay.
And I need some time to write. And then, I mean, if there's a need for us to do a Thursday morning show, we'll do a Thursday morning show. But yeah,
something would have to go haywire, I think.
Something would have to happen that's crazy.
And really, it's not even getting Walter Nolen. I mean, we could do a quick little react, but that's not a normal show.
Yeah.
Thing.
So, yeah, we'll take a break.
Back when?
I'll be in Atlanta on the 26th, so that week's kind of up to you.
Yeah. We'll have shows.
Yeah, we'll have something. I'm going to drive to Atlanta on the 26th. In-person coverage there starts on the 27th. There's a Zoom call with Franklin and Kiffin on the 26th. I don't know the time or any of that stuff.
What time is that?
I don't know.
They were saying kind of early at one point because we're just putting people in binds. They were trying to figure out almost somewhere to stop to do the Zoom.
Because the teams will already be there.
Yes.
They report to Atlanta on Christmas afternoon.
Yeah, correct.
Early evening.
Yes.
I think their first on-site practice is the 26th.
Yeah, I had heard multiple media members discussing gas stations, Buc-ee's type places to stop along the way for that if it was at the time they were fearing for that press conference. I don't know an answer there, but
I will not be part of that traveling party, so I'll be kind of I'll be on my own.
You don't want a caravan?
I'll probably leave fairly mid-morning-ish because I don't know.
You want to get there.
I want to go ahead and get there and get it over with.
You don't want to deal with the traffic in the afternoon.
No. Even on the 26th, it's probably going to be a lot of traffic.
So we'll have shows during the course of that week. Hope all of you guys have the Christmas that you are wanting. You get all the stuff. I mean, Neal's got this huge Christmas list. I hope people come through and get him everything on it as Christmas Eve and Christmas Day get there. I mean, he posted it in an email chain, sent it out to everybody. Made sure they knew it like a month in advance in case it took things. Some things need to be personalized.
Dear Santa.
Bespoke for Mr. McCready.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
had to make sure that all that came through.
I have very sophisticated taste.
Yeah. A good book and peace.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's quite likely that I'm going to be pretty laid up the first several weeks of the year. So,
it's true.
Books probably going to be a good thing.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm very concerned about my mental sanity.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What's the key? Reading?
I guess. I mean, how much exercise can you get in on crutches?
I mean, you can do a lot of upper body stuff.
Can you?
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Probably have to figure that out.
I've got a set of those Bowflex adjustable dumbbells if you want them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My concern is also not being able to drive for a while. That's being dependent on other people for a few weeks.
Am I imagining this, or did you have some foot ailment where this has happened to you once before since we've known each other? Am I imagining that?
I can't remember.
I felt like you had something going on with a foot or an ankle where you couldn't drive
crutches?
for a couple weeks at some point in the last 15 years.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, it probably didn't happen then. You would know more than me. But that stuck in my head for some reason.
I won't know till I go in what the extent of it is. When I wake up, I'll find out whether I'm 2 or 3 days or 6 weeks.
Do I need to cover some basketball? I mean, can you get to the arena?
Yeah, I mean, someone have to take me and come pick me up. That's the part.
And you hate asking for help.
God, I hate asking for help. Even from my wife, right? I mean, Like, hey, Carson, it's 11 o'clock. Can you come drive to the pavilion and pick me up and bring me home? That sucks. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
But I have a decision to make about whether I want to be able to get back to doing what I want to do, or whether I just want to deal with some pain for the rest of my existence. It's not going to fix itself. So at the end of the day, it's a pretty easy decision. It's just the
getting there, getting through it, getting back.
Inconvenience of 5 to 6 weeks.
That's fair. So,
but I mean, I think it's one of those deals where in May, when I'm out enjoying exercise in the heat, I'll be really glad I did it, as opposed to being frustrated for not doing it.
What are you using to cook the tenderloin this Christmas?
Big green egg.
You're gonna use the egg?
Yeah. Smoke it.
Yeah.
You?
Same, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna throw that on the Blackstone or anything. We're gonna put it in the egg. And
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
I mean, I guess you probably couldn't even. No, it's not possible. So yeah, something like that. Because I told you the other day, I haven't gotten all the attachments for the solo stove to try to figure out how that works from a cooking standpoint. It's just a fire pit at the moment, so we'll see where it goes. But
those are cool.
Yeah. Have a good Christmas again. Well, we each have stuff coming, just probably not at the same time. So hope all you have a wonderful holidays from that standpoint.
Yeah,
we'll tell you again.
We got picks coming. Pete's preview of the Penn State game. Butcher versus the dance instructors coming.
Yeah, there's stuff.
We'll have content to you end of the week, and then we'll obviously take a break for the holiday
and switch to Peach Bowl coverage.
And then we'll switch to the Peach Bowl 26th.
Yeah, and then go from there. So have a good day. Enjoy it, everybody, and we will talk to you again soon.